Hey, welcome back, No Problem Parents. Today I want to share 7 things that I recommend to help you become the confident leader that your kids crave you to be. You know, as parents, we need to remember that if we only give, if we only care for others, well, inevitably we deplete our energy. And so instead of succumbing to stress, worry, and frustration, make sure you're filling your cup. Do some things for yourself. And today I'm going to share some of the things, 7 things actually, that I do that fill my cup. And, it's things like inviting God into my day, my everyday, paying attention to my health, and preparing to lead my kiddo and help other parents lead your kiddos with confidence by learning how to respond to them rather than react. Or, making up for something that you did wrong. Maybe you overreacted as a parent. I'm going to share 7 things that really help me in my everyday life. And as the summer winds down and we gear up for the school year, these things, whether you use the things that I'm using and you implement the things that I implement, or you have, a similar kind of thing, let me know. Share in the comments of the podcast, or send us an email at admin@helloworldmn.com and let us know, what are your things that you use, your products, the services, the techniques, the tools, the things that you do to fill up your cup. Let us know. All right, let's get into it. All right, so the first 2 things that I'm going to share are techniques and things that I actually use. These are things I learned years ago as a counselor. I was a counselor for 20 years, helping to serve kids and families in their home. And so these things I learned years ago from other people, and I've just brought them back in the last few years because I've realized, sometimes those things you learned 20 or 30 years ago, they still hold true and they still help out today. So the first one is from episode 78, where I talked about the sit in the chair. Sit in the chair technique. This is for the kiddos 5 and under. 5 is kind of pushing it. So really it's under the age of 5 that we want to use the sit in the chair technique. And sounds so simple. It's different than time out or time in. All you're trying to do is get your kiddo you're removing your kiddo from an unwelcome situation or behavior. You're helping them regulate to shift from the back part of their brain to the front part of their brain. And it really, all you're asking for is 30 seconds of calm, just for them to kind of shift gears, and then you bring them right back to the situation. There's lots more in the episode 78, and we're doing a training on August 23rd at 12 o'clock Central. I'm going to have the link in the show notes for that. And you can attend that training. It's great if you can listen to episode 78 before the training, because it'll give you a little bit of a heads up. But I'm going to go through all the steps in the training on August 23rd. Just click the link, get yourself registered. It's only $20. If you're already part of our membership community, you get a coupon code. You'll be receiving an email about that, and you can sign up for free, and you can bring a friend, and your friend can use the coupon code. You can bring lots of friends, and they can all use the coupon code. That's one of the membership benefits, is being able to attend any training that I do throughout the year absolutely free. So if you're not a member of our community yet, there will be a link in the show notes at the bottom. You scroll down and click on join our community now, or get started now. Okay, so attending that training on August 23rd, you can come and ask me questions. It's a virtual workshop, and so you don't even have to leave your house. Just make sure you get yourself registered. Okay, and again, the sit in the chair helps us to remain calm. Just because our kid is worked up and reacting does not mean that we need to. It's just a broken record technique to help follow through with redirecting them and helping them to shift. Okay. Then the next of my favorite techniques is the make it right technique. And that I shared in episode 23. So when a kiddo does make a mistake, when they misbehave, when they hit their brother, when they, react in some way that causes a problem for somebody else, instead of just having them say, I'm sorry or sorry, I want you to use the make it right technique. This really helps kids to remember to think before they act. And it also allows them to make up for something they did wrong and then not dwell on it and keep bringing it up time and time again. So we all make mistakes. I use this make it right technique with my son, with my husband. When I screw up and I mess up, it's always good to say I'm sorry, but it's not enough, right? So we want to show them through our actions that we are truly sorry. And when we've done something to harm somebody else or disappoint them or cause a problem for them, we want to be able to make it right and make it up to them. And then, as we say in the Midwest, we keep her moving. We don't dwell on it. We don't keep bringing up the fact that they hurt our feelings or we, did something wrong. We just keep moving and go on to the next thing. We mess up again, we can make it right. So it really teaches us about forgiveness. It teaches us about being able to move on from the problems that we've caused, and allows for mistakes to happen, overreactions, reactivity, that kind of thing. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, as we say in No Problem Parenting, to prepare for the worst, that's step 2. We can't always be prepared. And sometimes our fight or flight just is activated like a light switch. And rather than beating ourselves up about it, we can go back, make it right, and then move on. Okay. The third of one of my favorite resources is taking care of my health. And for years, I've done several detoxes. I've done different vitamins and supplements and things to take care of myself. But it wasn't until last year that I really found the best one for me. Again, whatever you're using, great for you. This health detox is literally, I absolutely love it. It starts with a 21-day health kickstart. And so 3 weeks in a row. The first week, when you start it, there's 2 days of no food. And some people, even me, I was like, ooh, I don't know about that. But the supplements and the shakes that you take, you're actually probably, if you're a person like me who doesn't necessarily eat the best all the time. In fact, my issue is I often forget to eat. I'm sort of a workaholic. And so my day flies by and all of a sudden it's 2:00 and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't even had lunch. Or maybe I didn't even have breakfast. And so the supplements and the shakes that you take during this detox, I literally get way more vitamins and nutrients from the detox than I would just if I was eating and not doing the detox. So it is my favorite company as far as the shakes. It's a company called Equilife. I don't have any, I'm not getting any benefit out of this one by sharing it with you, but my dear friend Melissa Dealey is an integrative health practitioner, and she guides this 21-day health kickstart and detox program. You get an app, you order the kits, and then there's some coaching that goes along with this throughout that 21 days. And then the cool part is every 3 months you can do a quarterly detox, and I look forward to those. I'm not kidding you. I get excited for when the next one is coming up, because it just literally, my inflammation went away after the first week. I already saw a decrease in inflammation and my energy. I slept better. I mean, it's just literally the best health kickstart and detox that I've ever participated in. I'm going to put a link in the show notes for that one as well if you're interested in that. But nonetheless, do something for your health, making sure that we're surrounded with toxins. They're in the air, they're in our just everyday environment, they're in our foods, even if you eat organically. I mean, there's just so much in our environment right now. So it's good to get a good cleanse, get that crap out of your body, and do a reset. And so I love the health kickstart and detox from Your Guided Health Journey and Equilife. All right, now here's the next thing though. What I'm not a big fan of, even though I love, doing things for my health and making sure I'm doing what I need to do to stay healthy, I'm not a big fan of taking supplements every day. Just the fact of having all of those containers sitting on my counter and having to make sure I've taken, the vitamin D and B and, just all the basics. I'm not, it's like, it can get to be a lot. I think I probably would have to take 8 to 10 supplements a day just to get what I need as I age. So my next favorite product is from Innovative Nutrition. These are vitamin patches or supplement patches that you put right on your skin. And they're just tiny little square patches. You put them on your skin. You can even use these with your kids. You just have to cut them I think it's in fourths. Don't quote me on that, but you'll find out all that information at innovative.com, which again, I have the link in the show notes for you. But it's so hard to get vitamins in our kids, right? Well, if we just have this tiny, teeny, tiny little patch that we can put on them, we know as parents that our kiddos are getting the vitamins and the nutrients that they need. And again, everything is safe to use. I've vetted this, I've researched this, I've checked in with other integrative health practitioners, and they put their stamp of approval on it. And so for me, it's just much easier to stick a patch on me, know that I'm getting the vitamins, they're going directly into my skin, into my system, and it's just easy cheesy. So that is my next tip, is innovative nutrition. All right, the next tip that I have for you is taking care of your skin. As a woman, as a mom, as I'm aging, I notice the wrinkles. I can hydrate to, with the best of them and drink half my body weight in ounces and all that kind of jazz. But I was just feeling like my skin was starting to really kind of get saggy and almost crepey. And so a hockey mom friend of mine, I was like, you just, she's younger than me, but I'm like, your skin just looks so great. What do you use? And she shared with me that she uses Beauty Counter skincare. They have skincare products, they have deodorants, they have sunscreens, they have all kinds of stuff. And the really cool thing about Beauty Counter is that their products literally are clean. And when they say clean, they mean clean. So they are actually setting the bar for safety in the beauty industry. And they have, if you go to their website, again, I have the link in the show notes, they have the never list, they call it, which is filled with I think it's almost 2,000 questionable ingredients that they don't use in their formulations for Beauty Counter, but that nobody should be putting into their skin, right? And so they have a super high standard of safety and quality. They're working with legislature to try to get some of these unsafe products out of everyday product life. So listen to episode 69, which is all about making informed decisions about the products that you put on your body and how EDCs impact puberty, fertility, and cell reproduction all throughout life. Andy Robb is the guru for all things safety when it comes to the products that we put on our skin. So make sure you go back and listen to episode 69 and then check out Beauty Counter. Like I said, I have a link in the show notes. My favorite, so far anyway, my favorite product that I have used is the Counter Time Regimen Set. I'm not kidding you. Like my skin and my face, they're the softest ingredients I have ever used. And I don't say that lightly, like everybody's going to start looking at my skin when they see me now, right? But I seriously do love them. I'm not always the best about using them every day, but they are literally my favorite right now. Their deodorant is also super great. Their sunscreen is safe for your kids. It's the super good products. So go check them out. Okay. And then number 6. And again, these are in no particular order. Definitely not in any particular order. But when I started this podcast just over a year ago, I started having guests reach out to be on my show. And one of the people that I had on was Heather Steinker from Chaos and Cookies. Now, I used to think I was a procrastinator, but it turns out I went to a women's conference a few years ago, and one of the presenters was talking about perfectionism. And I wasn't even going to go. I was like, oh, I'm not a perfectionist, that's for sure. I'm a procrastinator. And then a few of my friends were sitting with me, and they said, what workshops are you going to? And I told them, and they said, you're not going to the perfectionist one? I'm like, what? I'm not a perfectionist. What are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, you better go to that breakout session. So I did, and I learned that, yeah, I might be a procrastinator, but it is because of my perfectionism. I want everything to be done kind of just right, make sure it's perfect before I do it, which is part of the reason I didn't even start this podcast for, 2 years after I learned about podcasting and even wanted to podcast. It took me 2 years to put it out there. I still sometimes struggle with putting an episode out because I'm trying to be perfect, right? I'm trying to make sure it's all my ducks are in a row and I's dotted and T's crossed and all that. But anyway, I ended up meeting Heather Steinker, and her company is called Chaos and Cookies. She is the queen of organization and getting your poop in a group. Like, when you're feeling overwhelmed with your schedule, with the house, with the kids, with the laundry, with, like the school assignments, just all the things, Heather is your go-to gal. She is going to help you get your chaos under control. And not only does she do that for you as a mom, she'll help you do that with your business. She has checklists, she has advice, she has tips and tools for how to manage your workload, your family life, and most recently, she has some support out there for parents who are divorced and you're trying to manage the back and forth from going to mom's house and dad's house and like having all the things ready. So she has a checklist that's going to help you co-parent with ease. Make sure you go down and click on that link if that's something that you're feeling like you need to get your poop in a group and just gain control of your schedule, of all things schedule. Like I said, work, home, personal, all the things. Click on the link below for your free chaos consultation. Heather's going to help you get back on track. Okay, and then my final tip or tool or resource for today, as I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, inviting God into your daily life. Now, whatever that means for you, I'm sensitive to everybody's beliefs, and I'm just sharing with you a little bit about what it means for me. And one of the things that I do is to invite God into my life every day, whether it's morning prayer or evening prayer or praying in between, asking for Him to lead the way. I remember as a little girl, my mom praying the Rosary. I remember her going on Tuesday nights with some of my aunts, my grandmas, to pray the Novena, which is praying the Rosary. What I'm going to share with you today is something that I learned from a baseball mom friend of mine a few years ago called the 54-day Novena. This is one of the things that fills me up with prayer. Whatever that is to you, find some time in your day to meditate, to just be still, be open, and to receive. And this is a challenge for me, you guys, because I am a giver and I get filled up when I'm giving and when I'm helping and when I'm serving. And I have to remember to sometimes receive, to sit in prayer and receive. And it's okay to pray and ask for things. And so this 54-day rosary was introduced to me. And it literally, you pray a rosary, and there's some other prayers you pray for a petition the first 27 days, and then the last 27 days, whether or not you believe your prayer was answered, you pray 27 days in thanksgiving of that prayer. And it's just the coolest thing. It's kind of tricky to learn at first and to make sure you're saying the prayers the way in the right order and, getting all the things in and making sure to pray it every day. If you miss a day, you start over. And I remember the first time I did this, I was about halfway through and I almost missed a day. I went to bed. It was really late, like 11 o'clock or something, which was really late for me. And I was almost asleep and I went, oh my gosh, I forgot to pray my novena. I forgot to do my rosary. So I got up and I went and prayed it so that I made sure before midnight that I got that in. And so it teaches discipline and it teaches serenity and the ability to ask for and to receive God and to be okay with that. So whatever you're struggling with right now, it's okay to take some time and just pray about it and just be open to God's plan that He has for you and not trying to control everything, right? Just to sit in prayer and peace and meditation. There's many different sites that you can go on. Maybe you have a prayer site that you're already on. Just put in the search 54-day novena, or you can use the link that I've attached at the bottom so that you can check it out and take some time, 20 to 30 minutes a day, morning or night, whenever you can get it in, and just be still and be open to receive and to be guided. All right. So those are my 7 things right now. I just thought I'd do a quick episode and fill you in. All the links are in the show notes. Leave a comment in this podcast, whatever app you're listening to, or you can find us on Facebook or Instagram at No Problem Parents. Let me know, what are your 7 go-to things? And maybe those change. I mean, I know mine certainly do throughout the year, but just this summer I was thinking about it and it's like, wow, these are 7 things that I have really embraced and done to take care of myself over this summer and as we gear up to the school year. And yes, the structure is going to come back into place, but with structure and change and new schedules and all that comes a little bit of chaos. So make sure that you are paying attention and taking care of yourself, and let us know what those 7 things are that you do by leaving a comment or messaging us on Facebook or Instagram at No Problem Parents. And if you have a product or a service that is your go-to and you'd like that product or service to be shared on our show, send us an email with the subject line product or service, and then let us know. Get in touch with us. We'd love to have you on the show and share what helps you become the confident leader your kids crave you to be. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.